Beck is a good Christian woman. I am. Can you not tell? There's a channel called Girl Deleted where someone uploads the deleted videos from Girl to Find. What? I'm excited now.
Despite what modern culture says, fashion and modesty can totally collide. It's about us honoring God in every area.
Why does their makeup look like 2014 makeup? Can I just say, and this is not a read. This is not. But why does her makeup look kind of like 2014 era makeup? Like,
It's about us.
Like, it's not a read. Like, my makeup's shit. I know. I'm not good at it. But let's just continue.
Honoring God in every area of our lives.
Honor God.
It can be really hard to find modest shirts right off the rack, but with a little creativity, you can make a lot of them work. Low-cut shirts. You can add a cami underneath.
How is that? Okay.
You can add a scarf on top or a button up underneath.
A button? No. Girl, that doesn't look cute. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean. But with the, if it was plain black, I think it would work. But the sparkles with like the, I think with the pinstripes, oh, it's not for me.
Shirts that are tight in the chest area, a great option is to add a scarf on top.
All shirts are tight on me in the chest area. They're right, it's completely immodest though. I need to find a scarf because that would make sense. You know, sitting here on stream, I should find, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna find a scarf. Okay, I'm gonna put the scarf on. I'm gonna put the scarf on so no one can see my chest. I don't think that helped. I think it just like emphasized the size of my chest actually. No. Okay. I think people like these like expect people to have like smaller chests because like this isn't being hidden by this. Like it not I just feel like it emphasizes my chest more. I feel like, does it hide it? You know what, we're gonna continue like this.
Shorts are so short these days that some of them can even be classified as denim underwear. So how do you know how long is long enough? Even though it's hard, we've decided to avoid lengths that show our thighs.
Good for you, I guess.
We love dresses, but honestly,
this music is killing me. And I'm way too warm right now wearing a scarf inside, but I need to hide my chest. I have to hide my chest, otherwise God will be mad. So I'm wearing the scarf and it's I'm way too warm.
Dressing modestly doesn't mean throwing out fashion. Dressing modestly doesn't mean we're ashamed of our bodies. Dressing modestly is simply valuing what has value. It's time to set a new trend.
I have a couple of feelings on this one. Just a couple. Just one or two. So I'm gonna say my feelings on this. I should be taken seriously with my cat ears. Hi, let's talk about this a second. Right. I need to take the fucking scarf off. Give me a second. I understand people wanting to dress modestly. My issue with this isn't that. If you're dressing modestly for your God, good for you. Enjoy. But this whole video feels so passive-aggressive. How people view their own body is up to them. if you're someone who covers yourself from head to toe, if you're someone who wears the least amount of clothes they're legally allowed, that's fine. But that's your standard. And your standard should only be yours. You should not project your standard onto other people. Yeah, and it kind of sets this like weird standard for all Christians. Like, you can't be a Christian if you don't follow how we define our own faith. Which isn't how it works. One's own faith is theirs. Two people can believe in the same thing, but show it differently. This is not a definite. This is an interpretation. But the way the passive aggressiveness in the video and the elitism is like, that's fine for people like you, but I can only think of how damaging this could be if the wrong person came across it at the wrong time. Let's watch this one. This is called How to Wear Makeup in a God-Honoring Way.
Older, we both went through this phase that we call the raccoon phase.
Hell yeah!
More eyeliner was better. Like,
that's my face!
Get on our eyes. Like, the better it would make us look. And so I remember one time we put so much on.
Okay, I had a raccoon face as well. But I still think I looked kind of cute with it. And now instead of under the eyes, it's on top of the eyes. I think there's so much, like, why are they so weird about this? When you're learning how to do makeup, it's gonna look shit.
And we just thought, like, wow, this is awesome, because we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know how to wear makeup. And we were at this conference, and I remember this, we were talking to these girls, and their dad came over, and he was, like, being super sweet, and he's just kind of commented. Do you remember this? And he's like, hey, girls, like, y'all are such beautiful young women, but just, like, kind of a thought, like, maybe if you wore less eyeliner, it would maybe enhance your natural features even more. And we were kind of like, what is this random?
What the fuck?
Dad, like, really giving us makeup?
Someone's father, who wasn't theirs, told them to wear less makeup. That is so inappropriate. I don't think also look at her face. That's so inappropriate. I can't process that. Someone else's father, a man you do not know, even if you know them through a friend, you don't know someone's dad, is telling you to wear less eyeliner. That is so inappropriate. I cannot stress that enough. That is so inappropriate. Especially when you're like a young girl. I love how they're calling it as a positive thing. This is my worry. This is what's freaking me out. Someone else's dad, when you're a younger person, telling you to wear more or less makeup, or commenting on you in general, how you look in general, is inappropriate. They should not be commenting on how you look in any way. It's not okay, because they were young teenage girls at the time, from how they're telling the story, and this is a friend's dad. Like, it doesn't sit right with me. And maybe that's just because I'm talking from like personal experience, and maybe some trauma's talking right now. I could be clouded by that. But to me, that does not sit right with me. That just feels inappropriate. But once again, I could be just talking from a trauma point of view. It just doesn't feel necessary to give your opinion on a teenage girl when you are a grown man.
Yes, because it was our makeup it wasn't just like eyeliner. I wear eyeliner now, but it was like, raccoon. Like, it was like black circles. So thankfully we learned more isn't always better. And as we got older, we continue to learn and grow in our understanding of makeup.
More can be better if you know how to do it. More can look good if you know how to do it. But I think how much makeup someone wears is a personal conviction. I don't think there should be a standard on how to wear makeup or how much to wear. I think it's a personal conviction.
But when it comes to the Bible, there are certain things that the Bible is very clear about. Like, okay, having sex before marriage. That is a black and white
I'm saving myself
answer.
for marriage.
It's very clear that sex should be saved through the marriage bed alone between one man and one woman. Like, there's no questions. And for me, I'm like, okay.
Fuck. I can save myself for marriage, but I'm gonna be honest, women are hot. I don't know if I can, like, not, you know? I don't know if I can... I'm going to hell.
A lot of verses that talk about our design as women and then our design as Christians and how we can best honor God in our lives. So the verse that we've really looked at and that we're going to look at today really quickly comes from 1 Timothy 2:9 through 10. And this is something I'm sure you've all heard, but just listen up because the context is really interesting. It says, likewise also that women should adorn themselves in respectable apparel, with modesty and self-control, not with braided hair and gold or pearls or costly...
Not with braided hair. Not with gold. They're not even trying anymore.
Attire, but what is proper for women who profess godliness with good works. And so you might think, okay, wait, is this verse saying we can't wear like pearls or costly attire? Like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
When you dig into the context of this verse and you get at the heart behind what is trying to be communicated in this passage, what we see is that this was being written actually and directing towards the Christian women of that day, back in the day, in their culture, in their context. And what was happening is that there were a lot of women who would dress in ways, the pearls, the costly attire, that's referring to a lot of the ungodly women of the day. Really, the temple prostitutes would often dress in these kind of ways. And so essentially what this passage is saying and trying to communicate to even us as women today in our modern day is, hey, God's women, Christian women, should dress and act and look a way that represents holiness, that represents purity, that represents women who are set apart, women who reflect God in its beautiful...
Not like other girls. This is all I'm getting from this. It's just not like other girls. This is my issue, because they're cherry picking. They're saying, well, God said we have to be modest. We cannot braid our hair or wear gold because that's what the prostitutes used to wear. But I'm going to braid my hair and wear gold because I've decided in this day and age it's fine. But I'm still going to say we have to be modest. And if you're not modest, then you're like the people from the temple. You're like those. Like, what the fuck? You cannot cherry pick line by line, but say this context here, these few words, this is now a metaphor, but this word right here in the sentence below, this is literal. How does that make sense?
God wants us as women, as Christian women in this modern day and age, to dress, to act, to look in a way that reflects a heart of purity, holiness, and modesty.
I don't understand this, like, emphasis on, like, you can, like, wear a bikini and still be, like, a pure person, but what even is a pure person? Or they just mean, like, what do they mean by pure? Do they just mean someone who's a virgin? Because someone could be a virgin and still, like, wear provocative clothing. One's sexual experience and one's choice in attire aren't always connected. They're not inherently the same thing. And this is what confuses me, this emphasis on purity. But what is purity? Do they mean innocence? Like, I don't understand their definition of the words they're using. So I cannot fully understand what they're trying to say. They're just saying a lot of words that is associated with religion. They're not defining those words proper. So it's hard to tell.
Is your heart desiring to honor God? Is it a heart of humility, like Kristen said? Are we trying to look like the world, and are we trying to, kind of appear kind of, sexual or kind of, raunchy or any of those sorts of ways? Or are we trying to honor God? So really just think about...
I don't think about God when I put on my makeup. You know what I think about? I'm like, does this look okay? Is my eyebrow shit again? Like, that's all. I'm concentrated on trying to make my makeup symmetrical. That's what I'm concentrated on. Not do I look like a whore? Or would God approve? What else? I just feel like...
Hey, it's Kristen and Bethany here with Girl Defined Ministries, and in today's vlog, we're going to be sharing with you 8 reasons we aren't feminists. If you're familiar with our ministry, you know that we created Girl Defined to help Christian girls understand how to get back to God's design for their lives. Because really, girls as a whole don't understand why they were created, what their purpose is. So the entire purpose of our ministry is to get back to God's design for our lives as girls. We're obviously both women, and so we are all for women. We believe that God created women to be unique and beautiful in our own way. And we also believe that God created men and women to be equally valuable, but purposely different. And the reason that we're not feminists and what
That's
we're
a
about to share with you is
phrase.
because feminism...
Oh, I can put it down. It's 8 minutes long, so I put it on 2 times speed. I can put it on nothing again. Okay, this is a phrase I see a lot in like a lot of fundamental groups is purposely different. It's a way that they can defend their beliefs of like women having to have a certain role, right? If they go, but they're the same, but they're just purposely different, and the women's purpose is to be a helpmate. That's, they kind of package it in a way that's modern, but the fundamental is the same, where they're saying women have a certain role.
Its core, and we know there are so many definitions out there, but at its core, feminism has tried to define womanhood on its own terms. It's not just about women's equality with men, it's about redefining womanhood altogether according to man's and women's terms rather than how God defines our womanhood. So in this vlog, we want to share with you why we're not and really help us get back to what God's designed.
Okay, feminism in the purest form is letting people exist how they want to exist. If that's a woman having a very traditional life, if it's her choice, let her. If it's a woman never having kids and running businesses, stuff like that, let her. It's a letting a man be a stay-at-home dad and supporting him as much as a business owner. That's what feminism is. It's taking away the gendered aspect of these roles and supporting people in what they choose. That's as simple as it is.
Number 1, you become your own God. Like Bethany just said, no matter how much you really airbrush feminism, no matter how good of a light you paint it in, at its core, it truly is a religion of sorts. It's a worldview.
No, it's not.
That is seeking to redefine womanhood according to our own terms. What we as women say we want when it comes to our sexuality, our identity, our beauty, our value, our worth. What we define in those areas is what we say goes, rather than saying, okay, hold up.
Yeah, feminism says that we can define our own standards, but you are allowed to define your standards by yours, which yours is your God's. We're just saying do what you want. We're not telling you what to do. We're just saying, yes, do what you want, just don't tell me what to do. It's not that complex. If I can understand it, anyone can. And like, I forgot how to use a straw yesterday, so the standard is not high.
What does God's word say? Now I'm going to align my life and my womanhood according to his truth. And number 2, sexual liberation is praised. Believe it or not, but the majority of feminist women used to be totally opposed to pornography because they were like, that's objectifying women. We don't want that. We have standards. We have values. We want people to value our bodies. But nowadays, as you probably know, that is not the case. There are so many modern feminists who are proudly posing topless, who are proudly posing naked for the camera and saying, yes, we throw off the morals, throw off the boundaries, throw off the restraints. We want to do what we want to do. We want to proudly show off our bodies. No more morals.
Okay, everyone's morals are personal. If you feel it's wrong for you to show your body, don't show your body. Don't shame people who want to show their body, because they're doing what they want to do just as you're doing what you want to do. All their ideals are degrading other people to put themselves on a pedestal. They can't literally go, I believe this because of this. They're like, I believe this and other people are like this. You're not like other girls is showing. Get yourself together.
Male leadership is despised. let's just be honest, there aren't a whole lot of women these days who are coming alongside of men, encouraging the leadership, championing them, saying, yes, you can do this, you've got it. No, when a man steps up and takes the lead, women these days really are offended by it.
No, I think regardless of gender, the person who's the most knowledgeable and the most educated in the area should take the lead. Regardless of gender. I think that if someone's leading something, they have to be the most educated and knowledgeable on the topic. I may or may not create a funny image. Okay, after this video, I'm gonna look at it.
Number 5, women are told that we are better than men. You know, we say it's about equality, but when you listen to the voices of feminism, so many women aren't just saying we want to be equal with men. They're really saying we are better than men. It's, you know, down with patriarchy, down with men. It's time for women to take over, women to reign, women to rule. That is the attitude that you hear so many women and so many bold feminists saying.
Okay.
We did a video interview once and we asked girls different questions.
Okay, I understand every group has bad people. And people who exploit movements. I'm well aware. I'm not an idiot. But sensationalizing a whole group based on a loud minority is dumb. Because then I would be sitting here going, all Christians are bad because of people like this.
About the differences between guys and girls. And across the board, almost every girl made a comment about guys are stupid, guys are dumb, guys don't know anything. And it's just this attitude that it really permeates our culture, and an attitude that we as women, through feminism, are told to embrace. And number 6, homemaking isn't valued. Believe it or not, but back in the day, people actually used to value homemaking. They actually used to highly value the role of a wife and the role of a mother. And that whole role of homemaking, wife and motherhood was upheld. But not these days. It really is honestly viewed as kind of like secondary and kind of like a lesser option.
I don't think it's a lesser option. I just think people have more options now. And also in most places, people need a double income family. It's expensive to live. So it makes sense that because of that, for it to be a double income family. Also, homemaking, personally, I like things to look nice. I like the kitchen to be clean. Like, when it comes to homemaking, I'm quite, like, I like that sort of stuff. I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I do really appreciate having things clean and tidy and, like, flowers on the table. Like, I love that sort of thing, but I don't think it should be, for me at least, it's not the center of my life. I take pride in it, but it is not the most important thing. And plus, if I'm dating someone or with someone, if they don't contribute as much of it as I do, I would be pissed. It should be an equal thing to make one's environment nice, I guess.
And number 7, unique gender differences are ignored. We're honestly both really offended by this because God created men and women to be equally valuable, but purposely different. When we look back at the book of Genesis, we see that God created a male and a female, 2 distinct genders, both equally valuable but purposely different, with different strengths.
Who's gonna tell them there's more than 2 genders?
And different weaknesses. But what feminism is trying to do, they're saying that in order to be equal with men, in order to be equally valuable, we need to erase all gender differences and instead pursue exactly the same things. We need to be the same in every way, in our careers, in our jobs, in our life pursuits.
No, just literally same opportunity and same value, and that goes for men having the opportunity to be more vulnerable and to be encouraged to have more traits that are considered feminine. It's not just everyone's the exact same. No, it's just giving everyone a right to define how they want to define themselves.
And our actions and how we dress and how we look. I mean, so many ways. Feminism is really promoting this idea that in order to be equal with men, we need to be the same as men. But we find that highly offensive because God designed us to be women, and it's a beautiful thing. And we need to get back to His design and embrace our unique and beautiful feminine differences. You have it. 8 reasons why the 2 of us are not embracing feminism or claiming to be feminists ourselves. God's word is all for women. If we look in the Bible, we will see that God
is all for how you define a woman. Not all for how people feel about themselves. It's very different. This is the best day ever. This is the best day ever. Thank you for getting a blonde pic of me for this. I'm now a relative of theirs. This is the best day. This was back when I used to dye my hair blonde. Look at how bad my roots are. I cannot right now. This is the best. Look how skinny my arms are. Ooh, sorry, distracted. This was back before I discovered eyeliner. This, oh my god. Apple, I adore you. Wait, I need to show this. This is the best day ever. Thank you so much. I've never been happier. Lol.